Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. Today is the Samadhi day of Swami Chinmayananda. So, prostrations at his feet, because of whom we got the opportunity to study the scriptures. Salutations. So, we are in Kathopanishad and we are in the first part, third chapter, verse number 10 we were looking at, and there it was told that there is continuous restlessness in the world. Don't forget, when we talk about the world, we are part of the world as the body, breath, mind, intellect. So there's continuous restlessness. We always want to be doing something. The world wants to get somewhere. So it's not, everyone wants to become something or someone. I want to become rich, I want to become happy, I want to become knowledgeable, I want to become a husband, I want to become a wife, I want to become a mother. This continuous race for becoming someone, the world has forgotten being. Man has forgotten how to be. There's some emptiness within him which is propelling him to continuously be in movement. This continuous movement, this continuous speed, this continuous velocity is what gives shapes to the various forms in this world. Everything is water, but the speed of water gives shape to the waves, to the whirlpool. Think, everything is water only. Similarly, the continuous movement within us is giving this velocity, is giving rise to the objective world. You slow it down. Where can you slow it down? Can you slow it down in the outside world? No. Where can you slow it down? Where can you reduce the speed?
In your mind.
Mind. If you have been hearing the news yesterday's or day before, they said on the 19th of July, the earth slowed down. It did not take 24 hours to complete rotation around its axis. How much time it took? Normally it took 0.0019 seconds less it took. No, not less, more it took. It was faster. So, and if it goes a bit more, well, all computers, all phones, everything that is digital will be out of whack. कर लो जो करना है, back to thumbprint. So it is this velocity which gives rise to forms. This world is continuously, and you can compare it to that way that, yeah, last week I was telling you that just as the stream, if we go beyond the stream, there is a rivulet. Beyond the rivulet, there is a river. Beyond the river is the ocean. Beyond the ocean is the water. Beyond the water, nothing. In that example, huh? Otherwise, you will, so because you have attended satsang classes, so beyond water, water came from fire. Beyond the water is fire. Where lage raho? Just take that example. So same way, when we apply that beyond these mantras 10 and 11, they say beyond the senses is the essence of the tanmatras. It is because of the tanmatras that you are able to see forms in the dream, in your imagination. So, beyond the senses are the tanmatras. Beyond the tanmatras is the mind. Beyond the mind is the intellect. Beyond the intellect is the Virat Purusha, the total person. Intellect, it is in the intellect that you get the reflection of I thought. So, I thought individuality, I thought totality. What is that totality? Virat Purush. According to Vedanta, there are no many Purushas. Can I put the. Have you muted whoever it is? Huh. Where is it gone? Huh. So, uh, there is an individual I, there is a total I. Who is this total I? It is Virat Purush. Whom, if you take Virat Purush with form, he is called Narayana. Total person. Just as in the total ocean the waves are imagined, same way in the total person, the total I, all the individual I's are imagined. Just as in the I that you are, the waker I, the dream I, the sleeper I, all these three I's are imagined. The father I, the brother I, the sister I, the mother I, all these are imagined in the original I. Same way, according to Vedanta, there are no different individuals. There is only one individual. And that is the divine phenomena. Expression of consciousness through matter. The first person came about. Who is he? In the subtle form, it was Garbha. In the manifest form, he is the Virat Purush. In that Virat Purush, in that cosmic form, all individuals, all objects, all past, present, future, all waking, dream, sleep, individual. Total waking, dream, deep sleep, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all these are just imagined in that one person from Vedanta point of view. And eventually one must come to that point. And when you come to that point, you will not remember who came. The salt doll went and jumped into the waters to find out how big the ocean is. And when it jumped, can it come back to being the salt doll again? No. This is what Vedanta does. This is what this Upanishad will do if we are available. We go to seek the infinite, we merge into the infinite. Can you come? Now, don't, as an individual, think, oh, after I realize, then what will happen? You will not be there. The world is only for the individual. If individuality is not there, individual is not there, story over. Just as after you wake up from the dream, the story of the dream is over once and for all. So beyond the intellect is the Virat. Virat means the greater than the greatest, the cosmic person. Beyond the Virat Purush is the Virat is the gross, the cosmic form, subtle form, Hiranyagarbha, the golden egg, the golden womb in which all possibilities are existing without having manifested yet. They are there in the seed form. That is Hiranyagarbha. Garbha. Beyond the Hiranyagarbha is the Ishwara or the Avyakta, the unmanifest. And beyond the Avyakta is the Ekameva Dvitiya, Parabrahma Paramatma. Beyond the unmanifest is the Parabrahma Paramatma, one without a second reality, the Supreme Purusha. And what is that beyond the Purusha? There is nothing beyond the Purusha. Just as what is beyond the water? There is nothing beyond the water. What is beyond the Purusha Tattva? There is nothing beyond the Purusha Tattva. So we see that in our observation, the smaller tends to move towards the larger, which is its source. The effect moves towards the cause. And once then that cause becomes the effect, it goes back to its cause. Just as senses went to the tanmatras, subtle senses went to the mind went to the intellect went to the virat. So this is the laya, this is the system, the pranali or the sequence in which the creation came, and now we are going back, finding the cause. The cause of the senses are the subtle sense tanmatras. The cause of the tanmatras is the mind. The cause of the mind is the intellect. Cause of the intellect is the cosmic person, Virat Purush. Cause of the Virat Purush is the Hiranyagarbha, the golden egg. The cause of the golden egg is the Ishwara or Avyakta. Cause of beyond the Ishwara and Avyakta. So if we say Ishwara and Prakriti, who is expressing as Ishwara and Prakriti? That is the Supreme Purusha. That is the Supreme Principle. That is the ultimate cause. He alone is appearing in and through all these names that we have taken. He is the one, but we have given him different names. You are one. People have given you different names. Dad, mom, brother, son. But you are one. You are also focused on right arm, left arm, eyes, ears. We are not focused on the one who is expressing as all, through all, as all. That Supreme Purusha alone is expressing through one and all, but we have not come to that. Just like water is the causeless, there is no, after water there is nothing. Now what is the cause of the water? You cannot come to that conclusion in that particular example. Okay, Don't stretch the example. Similarly, when we take this sequence and go up to the Purusha, what is the cause of Purusha? There is no cause of Purusha. Purusha he is the most ancient one, he is the eternal one. It's the causeless principle because it is complete. And in this manner, the whenever a product has come out of, if the product I'm saying, whenever there is an effect out of the cause, the effect will always be attracted to the cause. Children are attracted to the parents, parents are attracted to their parents. See, and this is how it is. That and it's both ways. And it's both ways. The children are also attracted to the mother. Mother is also attracted to the children. Just as the sun is having a magnetic pull towards all the planets, and the planets are also revolving around the sun. This is the cause and effect relationship. But what about that causeless principle? What about that water? What about that Purusha Tattva? Whom is he attracted towards? Who is attracted towards him? Because he is one without a second. See? So this way, this water, if you look at it, this gold, if you look at it, this Purusha Tattva, this Purusha principle, if you look at it, the mud as essence, if you look at it, it is not attracted or distracted by anything. It is not attracted. It is the causeless. The Purusha principle is causeless. Water is not affected by the presence of ocean or absence of ocean. It is not affected by presence of wave or absence of wave. It is not affected by presence of iceberg or absence of iceberg. Water remains water. Whether it is crystallized, whether it is in a wave, whether it is at the ocean. So where are these ocean, wave and crystallized water? They are only names given to the H2O. From H2O's point of view, none of these exist. None of these exist. It is complete. Who? The water. Wherever there is cause and effect, there is flux. But where there is completeness, there is no flux. There is total silence. There is no movement. Therefore, you sleep at night because there is no movement in the mind. Try to remain awake when there is no movement in the mind. You will come to this point, the Purusha Tattva, the water element, the essence of ocean and wave, which is water. You'll come to that point. So in this way, this Purusha, Purusha is the final destination, and when we reach this Purusha, something, how do we say, that, see, when we reach food, we feel satisfied. When we reach our destination after work, which is our home, we have come home. When we reach Purusha Tattva, because you have been striving for so long. You have been studying Upanishad after Upanishad. You are doing your japa, you are doing your sadhana, your Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, mantra is going on. But when you reach the destination, there is nobody left to say that I have reached the destination. This is the mysterious thing compared to other destinations within the world. There is a sense of rest, there is a sense of satisfaction. But when we reach this ultimate destination of Purusa, of the Atmic Atma Tattva, of the reality, there is no one left to experience it. The individuality dissolves completely. All experiences are for specific. But this specific, who is in essence the infinite, is thinking about the infinite, contemplating on the infinite, and once he gets sucked into the infinite, no individuality is left. No individuality is left. Total consummation, total rest, permanent rest. Then there is no running around, then there is no movement. And even if there is movement for others, the person who has reached the destination, for him there is no movement. Body may do whatever it likes. People are watching the body. People are not watching the essence. They're abiding in the truth, abiding in that Atma. It is a experienceless experience, therefore mysterious. Nothing happens, yet everything is taking place. But there is no one to say that it is taking place. It's that funny, because no words can reach there. I gave the example last week. Just as the river merges into is embraced by the ocean, thereafter, when the river looks back, can it have an experience of merging? As long as it is having an experience of merging, there is still separateness from the eternal. But once it's absorbed and is one with the eternal, there's no one to look back and say, hey, I became one with the water. It was water. Now there is only being. There is no becoming thereafter. So what has it entered? What has the river entered? What was river before it entered the ocean? The river was water.
Water.
What did it enter?
Water.
So it is an entryless entry. It is a realizationless realization. It is an experienceless experience. This is the mysterious thing about. So just as the river was nothing but water before, and it entered and merged and became one with the water, similarly, who are you? You are the spirit. You are the Atma. What are you contemplating on? The Supreme Purusa, the Brahman, the Paramatman. Brahman of Vedanta, Paramatma of yogis, and Ishwara of devotees. It's all one and the same. Then add one more to it, Atma. So Atma, Ishwara, Paramatma, and Brahman, they are all one and the same. We get lost in word terminologies. Yogis use the word Paramatma, devotees use the word Ishwara, Vedantis use the word Brahman. See, in essence, these are all prakriyas to explain, to 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 make what the seeker understand. He is so obsessed with the world, he finds it very hard to disentangle from the world, because that habit of thinking, he applies it on the reality also. So these examples have to be given. Just as river was water before, it merges into the water because ocean is nothing but water. So it's an entryless entry, it's a mergingless merging, it's a realization less realization. And thereafter, the river loses its identity. Similarly, the seeker who is searching for the truth, is searching for the reality, he loses his identity. What is his identity? The crystallized personality. It melts away, it dissolves away. What was the river's personality? That it had two shores, it had a depth, and it was moving in a particular direction. But once it reaches the ocean, where does the water move? It remains where it is. Ocean doesn't go anywhere. This is the. So, just like the river realized the water, even though it was water already, similarly, we realize the divine, but we are divine in essence already. This is the point that is being brought forward. So it becomes a, this change, this transformation, this unfoldment that takes place. We can give, oh, we are going through the Kundalini, we are going through this. But when you think from water merging into water, is called realization of the river by merging into the ocean. Both are waters. You are Atma, you merge into the divine, you are essentially divine. Divine merging into divine. What new happened? Nothing happened. You are always divine. And once this happens, can the river, having merged into the ocean, can it become a river again? Can it come out of the ocean as a river? Oh, I just want to see, I want to experience again the merging. I want to realize again. I think it was not complete. I think I missed something there. I want to come a more wholesome absorption. That means you never got absorbed only in the first place. But is it possible for the river to come out of the ocean again and have an identity after merging? Not possible. Is it possible for a seeker, once he merges, realizes, is it possible for him to come back and be the individual again, the seeker again? Not possible. Is it possible for the waker to go back into the dream again after waking up from the dream? Not possible. Think. These are the points, these are the triggers. Otherwise, we have, I don't know what, uh, imagination of realization. I'm going to do this, I'm going to merge into the Lord. Lord is like this and like that. We have given him some form. Vedanta keeps prodding you to realize that you are essentially divine. It's a journeyless journey. It's an experienceless experience. We'll repeat it in every Upanishad till you say, enough, I accept. See, once a child reaches puberty, after reaching puberty, can he go back to being a child? Not possible. A young girl, after having given birth to a child, can she go back to being the virgin girl? Not possible. After waking up, can you go back into the dream? Not possible. There's no going back. This is the growth. Once the effect merges into its cause, there's no going back to the effect. So once the senses come to the essence of the five elements, the tanmatras, there's no going back to the sensory level of existence. When the tanmatras go back to their cause, the mind, there is no going back to the tanmatra level. Once the mind goes back to the I thought, the intellect, there is no going back to the mind. Once the I, the individual intellect, goes to its cause, the total one, the Virat, there is no coming back to being the individuality. When the Virat, the cosmic person, the total I, when it goes back to to this Hiranyagarbha, meaning it comes to this realization that everything, past, present, future, is only exist, not only past, present, future, all parallel universes, all possibilities are, I am the source of all that, and all that entire variety, visible and invisible, is I am the source and everything is in me in the unmanifest form. That is in Hiranyagarbha sthiti. But till here, you are still attentive about the world. But he's not attention. Again, what is the source of this? Then the Hiranyagarbha, the I there, which is the source of all which is the cause of all possibilities. It says, but where did I come from? He goes back to the avyakta, the unmanifest, or the Ishwara principle. Coming to the Ishwara principle, if you come to the avyakta principle, or you come to the Ishwara principle, both of them know that they are from both are not separate from each other. They are the expressions of the Parama Purusha, the Parama Shiva. So once we, from where first, for that, you have to begin from somewhere. You have to first assess where you are and keep merging the effect into the cause. Then that cause becomes the effect, that becomes merged into its cause. And eventually we come to this Purusa principle, this divine principle. Where will it merge? No, it is all that is. There is no merging thereafter. And the rule here is, once you have raised yourself, once you have crossed certain barriers, you cannot come back into the lower level of existence. In the initial stages, it may be possible, but then it leads to frustration because you have already experienced something higher, but out of default, you are living at the effector level. Just like a drug addict, or a drunkard. Once they have experienced the drug or the alcohol, what does it do? It quietens their mind. They become loose, they become carefree, they become inconquerable. And then, when the effect goes away, they find themselves again in the world with all the challenges, with all where's the money going to come from, where's the food going to come from, where's this going to come from, where uh, interpersonal relationships, challenges, etc., etc. Then what is it? So they have experienced something higher, and when the effect of it goes away, they find themselves at the lower. They become even more frustrated in the lower, so they find any way which way they can again to go back into the higher, because it is a higher state. Mind is easy going, it doesn't care about anything. Yes, it is a wrong way because it is drug or alcohol, but I'm giving that example that once you come to be obsessed with the mind, you cannot go back to the sensory level. Once you get obsessed with the I, you cannot go back into the mental level. Once you get obsessed with the total person, you cannot come to back to being the individuality. But all this, it may be only sounding as words, but those who are practicing a little bit, uh, 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 they will understand what we are trying to say here is, it is a process-less process. There seems to be something happening. I am moving from senses to tanmatras to mind to intellect to total intellect to hiranyagarbha, etc. There is a movement, but actually there is no movement. There is a movement of water to the ocean, but it is already water. What is the way river going? Water in the river going to reach water only. So why don't you realize, wherever you are, as you are, that you are of the nature of divine? Why make it so difficult for yourself? It is only because we are obsessed with the world. We are obsessed with memories. We are obsessed. We are only this body. How do you know you are obsessed? Every birthday you want to celebrate your birthday. You are reaching closer to your grave, but you want to celebrate your birthday. So, in this process, as we keep moving, we come to the causeless cause. From there is no turning back. And when uh, once we reach, so to speak, once we reach the ultimate cause, equal to destination, equal to realization, equal to merging into the Lord or the divine, You will find there is no divine, there is no Lord, there is no I, there is no nothing. Therefore, it is an experience-less experience. Because this idea, this name giving, that I want to realize that I am Atman, that is Brahman. I am individual, that is the Lord, the total. All this is as long as you are in ignorance, as long as you are in the individuality. But once you reach you cannot stop this striving, it will continue. It is inherent within you. But when you come to that ultimate destination, there is nothing to experience. Because you experiencer is no longer there. Because when you reach there, you are not there. Once the river reaches the ocean, the river is no longer there. Once the waker reaches sleep, the waker is no longer there to experience the sleep. Once you reach the essence, the spirit, you are no longer there. So then who will experience what? Thereafter, even when we are in our journey at that time the senses, this you must have felt when you go to sleep, someone is calling you from far away. Swami, did you call that person? Or someone calls at that time when you are deeply in sleep, where your individuality is completely dissolved in sleep, and the phone is ringing, and somewhere far away you hear a ding 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 ding, very faint, seems insignificant. There is no urge to listen, to respond to that sound of the phone or someone calling you, even though that person may be your wife or husband or child, because you are far away. Exactly the same way. Once we come to this abidance, the senses are far away. Whatever they are illuminating, called the world, that is far, even further away. Senses are far away, the mind is far away, the intellect is far away, the waking dream and deep sleep are far away. The total person is far away. Everything is far away. Not worth getting involved into. Sometimes you are sitting in meditation, doing your japa or sitting silently, and you are deeply absorbed. From far away you can hear some ringing bell or someone calling, and you don't care. You give zero value to it. Just like that. And just like that, the tanmatras, if this continuous, the union of river with ocean, the continuous union of senses with tanmatras, the union of tanmatras with the mind, the union of mind with the intellect, the union of intellect with Virat Purush, the union of Virat Purush with the Hiranyagarbha, the union of Hiranyagarbha with the Purusha and Avyakta, and the union of Purusha and Ishwara and the Avyakta with the Purusha principle, the Brahman. This is, it is one alone playing with himself, so it's continuously is going on. It is not that one day I will reach there, then I will. That is your foolishness. This continuous union is taking place at all these levels. Excuse me. How do you feel when you after COVID, when all the restrictions were over, and after 2 years we met with each other in different houses? How did you feel? You hugged, you were elated, a big smile on your face, ecstatic, exuberant. Exactly the same way, whenever effect meets the cause, it experiences ecstasy. When the senses become one with their cause, called the tanmatras, which have gone to make the whole, all the sense objects, oh my God, there is horripilation, there is ecstasy at the sensory level. Not sensory level, senses meeting and merging into the tanmatras. When tanmatras realize the mind, that their source is the mind, and they lose their identity as tanmatras. Tanmatras means space, air, fire, water, earth, not the gross one, the subtle one. And they realize, Arey, our source is the mind. Without the mind, we cannot be. Once this realization happens, next level of ecstasy. Second chakra is open. When the mind realizes that it has got no independence, existence apart from the intellect, without the I, mind is nothing, idam is nothing. Idam is also a thought, I is also a thought. So the mind chooses to think only of I. A third chakra opens up. Third level of ecstasy. When the individual I realizes that it is the total, the Virat Purush, next level of ecstasy. That everything is happening within me. I am giving validity to the whole cosmos, past, present, and future. What would it be? You can't even imagine. By the time you come here, it is all silence only. But contemplation is going on. When the Virat Purush goes back to its source, back to the womb, where did I come from? Oh, I came from, who are my parents? What is the seed from which I was born? He goes back to the golden egg, the Hiranyagarbha. The next level of ecstasy. From the golden womb, the subtle unmanifest, the subtle manifest, the total causal state. You go back to the Ishwara and Avyakta, the unmanifest reality. Next, even further, even more ecstasy, more joy, more elation, more happiness. And Ishwara and the Avyakta, when they are the Ardhanari, they are complementary. They are one without each. They cannot be without each other. When they realize that they are the expressions of that one Purusa, that one supreme person, now no more ecstasy. Now no more ecstasy. Everything stops. Dekho. All this is, all this teaching, what we have been saying for the last 2-3 classes, is hidden in one chariot. Don't forget in what context we are saying all these things. When we don't understand the cause, meaning when we are living at the sensory level, but we don't understand the tanmatras out of which these senses are made and the sense objects are made, we lose the plot. What is that plot? We are subjected to delusion. We are subjected to moha. And then we start, and under the effect of this delusion, then we start imagining. What imagining? Imagining all the variety that is there. Because our attention is not on the cause. And once we start imagining, we get caught up in our own imaginations and we become helpless addicts. A druggie is addicted to his drug. We are addicted to what? To the value, we are addicted to giving validity to this world the way we see it. Our attention is not on the tanmatras. Our attention is not on the material that has gone into making these senses. Same material has gone into making the sense objects. And you are helplessly running after the objects, but your eyes are also objects made out of the same material. How come you are running after them? But there is the delusion, there is the moha, and one becomes helpless. And slowly, helplessness leads to breakup of personality, losing the plot of life. And when we feel helpless in life, there are no concrete answers for any damn thing in this world because the world is continuously changing. The people you are living with are continuously changing. Your senses are continuously changing. Your mind is continuously changing. This is called helplessness. You can't hold on to any damn thing. This is called samsara. Samsarati iti samsara. That which keeps changing is samsara. The way out of this samsara is hold on to the cause. Hold on to the cause. Seek out the cause. Don't live in helplessness. Make a decision and abide by it. Never live in indecisive state. Right now you got this data. What are you going to do with it? When we went to school, we studied physics, chemistry, math, civics, geography, etc., history, etc., etc., etc. Today, whatever history I was taught in school is already become zilch. all the that Aryan invasion theory, this, that what we were taught, all that is already become defunct. But we accepted it, we lived, we repeated it, we gave exams on it, we didn't question it. Even if we had doubt, we still by hearted it and gave the exam and passed. Because we didn't know anything better. When we are on this path, when the Upanishad is saying something, do we know anything better? Can we know anything better than what Upanishad tells us? Because this is Brahma Vidya. No, there must be something better. Then you do not have the respect and reverence for the Brahma Vidya. And if you don't have that respect and reverence, then you are not qualified to listen to this Brahma Vidya. The way this knowledge clicks within us is by having faith, respect, reverence. Arjuna did not practice when Bhagavad Gita was told to him. Karma Yog, Dhyana Yog, Bhakti Yog, Jnana Yog, Trigunatita Yog, Moksha Sannyasa Yog. He did not practice anything. He just became available 100% without a doubt, with respect and reverence. Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I am surrendered to you, O Lord. I am your disciple. I am your devotee and I am your disciple. As a disciple, you have accepted the teacher as the guru. That means a disciple is he or she who is ready to change. And a devotee is he who is ready to obliterate himself in the remembrance of the divine at the altar. He is ready to annihilate himself. Are we ready? Do we have that frame of mind when we come to the Upanishad or any satsang? If we have that attitude, then it will be very beneficial. Before you know, you will vanish as an individual. The steps which were told, the doors will keep opening. These are the 7 doors of Tirupati. Tirupati Balaji. These are the 7 chakras of Kundalini. These are the 8 steps of the Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. These are the steps. Here it is given in a different way. That's all. But how did all clarity come to Arjuna? We are going to see that in the next class. Tomorrow's class it will come. Krishna Bhagavan will say. So Arjuna did not practice Dhyana Yoga. He did not go and get darba grass and deer skin and then sit down on it. He did not chant Om and did the practice. He merely was 110% available to his teacher. He was available to the words that were coming out of the mouth of his teacher. Unless we cannot invoke, unless and until we have invoked that type of disposition, then unknown knowledge clicks. And what is samsara? Just like one same material, the same tanmatras have gone into making the eyes. The same tanmatras have gone into making the world. And the eyes are seeing the world. The ears are hearing the world. The nose is smelling the world. So, in other words, tanmatra, experiencing tanmatra. Tanmatra is nothing but they cannot exist without the mind. Mind alone is expressing as the tanmatras. So, from mind point of view, all the elements are within its womb. So at every level, you see there is amalgamation, there is emergence, there is no expansion. There is only everything is reabsorbed. The rule is three rules. Catch this. Every effect must have a cause. Every effect must have a cause. Every wave must have a cause. What is the cause? Ocean. What is the effect? Ornament. What is the cause? Gold. What is the effect? Pots. What is the cause? Mud. First rule, every effect must have a cause. Whatever you're saying, this is an effect, this table is an effect, this body is an effect, this thought is an effect, this breath is an effect. In this verse, senses were the effect. What was their cause? Tanmatras. Second rule, cause alone expresses as many effects. First was every effect must have a cause. Second rule, cause alone expresses as many effects. Ocean alone expresses as many waves. Mud alone expresses as many pots. Gold alone expresses as many ornaments. Third rule, remove the cause, there is no effect. Remove the cause, there is no effect. Remove the gold, there is no ornament. Remove the water, remove the ocean, there is no waves. Remove the mud, there are no pots. Remove the mind, there are no tanmatras. Remove the tanmatras, there are no senses and sense objects. Remove the I, there is no mind. Remove the Virat Purush, there is no individual. So as we go higher and higher, the lower drops away because it was never there in the first place. As our mind expands, this is this whole journey of going back to the source. As you keep passing through the gates, so to speak, the lower drops away. It cannot affect you anymore. It cannot influence you anymore. And that is what we want in life. Everyone wants freedom. Everyone wants to be swatantra, independent. So you have fire in a house, you don't get burnt by fire. Why? You follow the rules. So what are the rules? If you want to stop the horses from going in various directions, The intellect has to make all this assessment. This is all this information that we are giving is not for the horses. It is not for the sense objects also. It is not for the mind also. It is for the intellect. This assessment is possible only in the intellect. Mind is too erratic, too distracted, too fickle. Senses are worse. Sense objects are inert. They can't think only. Senses can't think also. Because what was told before, only the intelligent one can reach the destination. Avijnanavan cannot reach. Only Vijnanavan can reach. Who is Vijnanavan? Who has assessed all this in this manner. What we have been saying in last class and this class. And this is not assessment of what is given in the book or in the bhashya. This is assessment of your life. And life doesn't mean the world. Life doesn't mean the relationships. Life means what that is, that which is expressing through here. Who are you? Are you the senses? Are you the mind? Are you the intellect? Are you the total person? Are you the Hiranyagarbha? Find out. Be fired up. So this, when we are in samsar, what happens? The subject and object, there is a love, there is a mutual attraction and a mutual distraction. Just like husband and wife, there's always some moments of love, some moments of discord. Similarly, with this subject and object, they, 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 they are continuously attracted and distracted by each other. Subject the I, object the other thoughts, other than I. Why I is attracted to the objects? Why the I is not attracted by the objects at some certain times? There is no reason. This is Maya. No one knows. That is the nature. That is the nature of subject object. And therefore, rather than getting lost in the objects, we should not limit ourselves to the objects, to the senses. Instead, because if we keep thinking about objective world, this is a rule. If we keep thinking about the objective world, we who are of the infinite nature have reduced ourselves by ourselves into being an object called the human. What is an object? Which has a name, which has a form, which has a dimension, which came into existence, which will go out of existence. That is an object. It has got some properties, qualities, attributes. That is an object. Because of our objective pursuit, giving this objective world a sense of reality, that is samsara. We haven't had a solution from birth till today about this world. Just getting pushed this way, getting pushed that way. What can you do? What is going on in the world right now? What were you able to do because of the pandemic? Where will this end? What can you do about the stock market? What can you do about the monkeypox? What can you do about, I don't want to take all these pills? Doctor said so. After 10 years, the same doctor says, oh, now these pills don't work. You have to take other pills. Because evidence shows. Oh, yes. The evidence keeps changing every 10 years. What to do? This is objective pursuit. And that habit has made us to accept ourselves as an object in this creation. And that object is, I am only this body, which was born at one time, which will go out of one time, at one time, which is deteriorating with time. And I don't want to be helpless. Therefore, I come to the satsanga. I want to realize, I don't want to die ignorant. Stop accepting yourself as an object. But for that, you'll have to put your attention to something higher, something subtler. The sequence was given: senses, tanmatras, mind, intellect, total intellect, subtle intellect, unmanifest, Ishwara, and the Supreme Person. That was very nice to hear, Swamiji. But we'll keep doing what we were doing. Then you will keep getting what you are getting. What is that? Being helpless in every situation. If you want a solution, a new engagement has to be inaugurated in our life. And it's not a default, it's a conscious engagement based on knowledge. This is knowledge, this is Brahma Vidya. Apply yourself. We are addicted by the objective world. We are addicted by possessions. We are addicted to relations. Don't blame the world. You have reduced yourself into an object, a person, and therefore this continuous obsession for the objects. Relations are also nothing but objects only, living objects. So you who are of the nature of infinitude, you who are of the nature of divinity, have reduced yourself to objective existence. Accepted the temporariness of life and superimposed it on yourself. Then you find ways. Oh, this body I am, these senses I am, this health I am, this hunger I am, these memories I am, this husband, wife, brother, sister I am, this wealth I am. And remain insecure whole life. So we who are of the nature of divinity, we have reduced ourselves to the level of objectivity, an object which is inert. We have accepted we are this inert body. So in this way, when we as we move through this journey, just like the river is going. We move through this journey of senses to the tanmatras, to the mind, to the intellect, to the total intellect or the Virat Purusha, and so on. The consciousness becomes more expanded, the I becomes more expanded. I meaning consciousness, and and experiences greater and greater ecstasy, greater and greater happiness, unexplained happiness, merely. And it not, initially it is all very exuberant, jumping, jump, and laughing and screaming and all that. But as you go deeper and deeper, it starts settling down. There is an uncaused happiness, which is your nature. And now this Upanishad continues to, it is going to the next stage. I've already mentioned that a little bit, but we will go through that. And which is, read the 11th verse. महतः परमव्यक्तम् महतः परमव्यक्तम् अव्यक्तात् पुरुषः परः अव्यक्तात् पुरुषः परः पुरुषान्न परं किञ्चित् पुरुषान्न परं किञ्चित् किञ्चित् सा काष्ठा सा परा गतिः सा काष्ठा सा परा गतिः. Together in the 11th verse. महतः परमव्यक्तम् अव्यक्तात् पुरुषः परः पुरुषान्न परं किञ्चित् सा काष्ठा सा परा गतिः. Mahatah, Mahata is the Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the golden womb. Golden womb is where all the possibilities, all the possible manifestations, past, present, future, gross, subtle, or causal, they are existing in the seed form. That is the Hiranyagarbha, where all possibilities, all universal, not only the one which you see, that which you do not see also. All those possibilities are in the seed form, that is Mahata. Mahata, Mahata is another Hiranyagarbha. Mahata Paramavyaktam Avyaktat Purushah Paraha. Oh, okay, sorry. I stand corrected. I'm imagining myself here. Where is that? Where is the 11th verse, man? Here it says, Indriyebhya parahyartha arthebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhihi buddher atma mahan paraha. And now mahatha param avyaktam, and mahat tattva greater than Hiranyagarbha is the param avyakta. And what is this avyakta, which is greater than the Hiranyagarbha? What was Hiranyagarbha? All possibilities in the seed form. All possibilities in the seed form. What was before that? What was before that? There is avyakta. It is the total unmanifest, the Moola Prakriti. Moola Prakriti means the Ishwara's Prakriti. Ishwara and Prakriti, or Ishwara and Maya. In Shaivaism, the Shaivite text, Shiva and Shakti. That Shakti, before she becomes Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, that is Moola Prakriti. param avyaktam. Avyaktat purushav paraha. And what is greater than the avyakta? The greater than the unmanifest, the greater than the mula prakriti, the unmanifest potentiality, the unmanifest shakti, which has not yet expressed as sattva rajas tamas. What is greater than that shakti? Vyakta means expressed. Avyakta means that which has not expressed, that which has not manifested. That is the Mula Prakriti. What is greater than that? Purusha. Avyaktat Purusha Paraha. Greater than that unmanifest is the Purusha principle. Then it says afterwards, Purushan param kinchit. Purushan. Now we have been going from senses. Greater than senses is the tanmatras. Greater than the tanmatras is the mind. Greater than the mind is the intellect. Greater than the intellect is the total intellect. Greater than the total intellect is the Hiranyagarbha. Greater than the Hiranyagarbha is the unmanifest. Greater than the unmanifest is the Purusha. Greater than the Purusha. Automatically the student will thinking, what's coming next? I'm going to be very alert. Suddenly that Upanishad says, Purushan na param kinchita. There is nothing greater than the Purusha principle. Greater than the Supreme Person, there is nothing. The journey stops here. The movement stops here. The river merged into the ocean. Now after that, where I have to go? Hey, Baba, river is no longer after it has merged into the ocean. So it cannot go anywhere. You can say a drop says, "Oh, I want to become water." It jumps. It becomes comes and becomes part of the wave. The wave says, "I want to become the ocean." My cause. He becomes the ocean. Ocean says, "I want to become the water." He merges into, realizes that he's the water. After that, will water say, "I want to go back to somewhere"? No. After Purusha, there is nothing. पुरुषान्न परम किंचित सा काष्ठा सा परागति. This is the most subtlest. Who? Purusha principle. Purusha principle, you want to make it subjective? It's the Arthmate principle, the spirit principle. This is the height. There is nothing after that. This is the ultimate, the summum bonum, the ultimate destination. There is nothing to be reached after that. This is the sa paragatihi. This is the final destination. Don't imagine that there is after that somewhere. You're standing in the middle of a mirrored room or between two mirrors. You can see many of your reflections, infinite. How many am I? Keep counting, you'll go mad. Then what do? You come to realize, Hare, all these reflections are mine. I am only everywhere. What are they? Reflections. What is a reflection? That which exists in absence. Once you come to the Purusha principle, I alone am. Then what about the whole journey? Look back. There is no one to look back. The whole crystallization of personality kept melting melting, completely melted by the time it reaches the Purusha principle. If you want to understand Buddhism, when we say after Purusha there is nothing, there is no cause, that nothing was the goal of Buddha. This shunya, that there is nothing after that, means this is the ultimate destination. And this destination is that where the mind doesn't function, there's no individuality, there's no totality, there's no duality, there's no multiplicity. It is all by itself. It is not an object to be perceived by the mind and thought by the intellect. Such is this destination. And that is sa kashta sa paragati. Uh, uh, this is the ultimate destination. We'll look at the Shankar Bhashya of the 11th verse in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om everyone.